what went on there with the camera. I think I might have accidentally switched it off. Probably. But anyway, right, while I'm here, the oval washer, right, thickness of that is 2.3 mil, inside diameter 15, outside diameter is 31, 32, where are we? Let's get that right. 31. Now, it hasn't got a great deal of a taper, and I won't worry about it. I'll just get an ordinary washer that thick, again, 2.3 mil, and that'll be ideal, because even if you turn this around against this, although it's ovaled, even if you turn it around, that would still pull in tight against the fan, which is now stuck because I painted it. But there you go. Right, that's the old one with these little bodge up ones I'd put in. And it's got a bit of wear on the plate as well. Let's get that around a bit. Yeah, it's got a little bit of wear on the plate as well. So that we're not too worried about. Now, the new one, let's measure these. Right, across the top is 22. That way, 10.7. This way, 7.7. The actual drop down, 7.8. Now, this is going to be the awkward bit. In the tops, whoop, yeah, the very top of the gap is 7.5. The very bottoms of them is 4. So that gives us an idea there. So this is our new plate that's going to go on, and I'm debating whether to put any grease on this spline. I'll come back to that. Okay, let's see how these rollers are doing. Right, now these are the sliders, the 8mm ones. Definitely give me more revs. Now, the dilemma here now is, do I stick with them, or do I try a 7 gram actual roller? Well, first thing I want to do is give these a little wipe and see how they're going for wear. I mean, they're almost brand new, so they shouldn't be wearing at all, really. But no, they've got a very, very slight. No, it's just dirty marks on them. I'm wiping them with a little cloth, and it's literally dirty marks on them. Now, what I am debating is, would these be better in the channels if they had a tiny, tiny touch of grease? And I mean tiny bit. Obviously we don't want none flinging out to go on the belt, but would they benefit in the variator if it had a very, very small amount of grease to let them run on? I can't see as it would do in the arm. So let's give it a little try. Look, I've only got a dab on my finger. I'll spread that out amongst all of them. That's 3 definitely done with that little dab. That's 4. That's 5. That's 6. Right, now I'll just clean out in here. Make sure I've got none of that grease on my fingers in a minute. Up and down these sliders. They would be the dodgiest bit. Better check that this works and fits. That all fits absolutely spot on. Now, do I put the sliders, or what I might do is try another set of rollers. We've tried the 8s, we've tried 9s. All I've got to do is find them, and we'll try 7s. Will it give us like too small amount of top speed? I don't know, find out in a minute. Well, I tried the 8-gram sliders. I was quite happy with them, but now I'm going to try 7-gram rollers and see if it's even any better. I think they'd be the same as the sliders, but we shall only see. So we'll take these out of the box. Let me get them out. Right. So where's the variator? There we go. Right. We had 9 grams in at first. They were good. But the 8 grams was actually better. Now, I don't remember which way these go now. What's that metal bit goes that way, all right. So where are we? Clicks always spelt like that. That's it. It's amazing what little things like this can do. So we're getting these nearly all in. And the last one. That's there, but I'm going to take one out for a second, because what I want to do, I want to measure just how wide this gap is, which is, hang on, try and get that in at another angle, because we might be able to go to some different ones. No, 13 would be pushing it. That's more like 12.8. Yes, that's only 12.8. Yeah, so these rollers can only be 12.8 wide maximum. I mean, the original ones was something like 13s, they said, but there's no way you're going to get 13 in there. Anyway, I don't want to mix the rollers up just yet. I want to keep everything sort of like the same. All glicks, 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 right. So now, right, so I've got all that lot's all back in there. Now, I'm going to slide all that lot on. That's on. Now this is just your, let's give that a little drop of job. Now, I don't know whether that's a good idea, actually doing the outside of it, because no, it wouldn't be, because the belt ends up running on that, doesn't it? So We don't want no grease on there. Right, so that won't go back on there. That's in there, all spinning around all lovely jubbly. We've now got this that looks one piece, that I know is not. Goes on there. And that is not going up tight enough. Why not? That is as far up as it goes. Bendix all in there. That's all okay. Tell you what, well, I've got it all down. I'm going to give this another clean. Seems a shame to put it back and not have it all perfectly clean. Clean all the teeth out. But I'll tell you what, that is flowing very, very nicely. That last little lip there, that collects a little bit of crap, the dust off the belt and that. That is something that could stop your Bendix going in and out nice and 100% free, you know what I mean? But look, that's all flowing now. That can sit back up in its little housing, in its little bush. Once I get it in there, that's in there all nice. That all flows out, look, all springs out nicely. Lovely jubbly. Now we want the belt on next. So let's just squash the back up. He says. That's it. Now we've got that on. That silly oval washer, which I think does nothing. Then you've got this, your gear cog, this little silly washer, got the serrated washer, and now the nut. Just like to keep all that pushed in while I'm just sticking it on for a second. You've got to make sure that goes on there. A quick zap with this. It's just making sure it's levelish for a minute. I'm going to take that off again in a second, and I'm going to put me Loctite on that, because I do not trust it without Loctite. So I'll be back in a second. Okay, we're now back in the room. Right. I just took this off, put some Loctite on it. I'm just going to buzz it up a little bit. He says. And now what I'm going to do is grab my torque wrench and check it. It's like anywhere between 32 and 36 foot-pounds. So I'll do that. I'll get that out. Set my torque wrench now. Whoops. Right, where are we? That's foot-pounds, right. I want to get up there to 30. That's 30. Right, now if I go about 34, that'll do me nicely. 34 foot-pounds. Now, to hold this still, because there's no holes in here to put a tool, right? So what I do is, on the cover you've got this to go on to hold the spring for the centre stand. So I put this back in here, there's nowhere else to put it. You could go up the top there and go through, I suppose. No, but anyway, I'll just do it here. And yeah, it was the other way. I'll just do this and I'll get a big screwdriver out in a minute. So I'll just wind them in. So they're in nicely, so they've got plenty of thread, plenty of teeth. I mean, it's not the correct tool, but sometimes you've got to go with what you got. Now you can use anything here to jam in there up against this. For example, you can use a small screwdriver. I mean, that ain't what I'm going to, well, I say that ain't what I'm going to use. I could use it. Don't know if a small one will actually do the job, but soon find out. Right, torque wrench, just getting ready. Right, torque wrench is on now. All that's got to do is hold them teeth, or hold a tooth, if I had that on the right way round for the torque wrench. That's it. Right, that's holding. Let's get to the end of that. Don't know if you heard the click, but it did. You know what I normally do is I like to use a bigger screwdriver though. As you can see in there, look, much bigger, flatter bladed one. Come into there, a good push up into it. That can stay there, that's only holding on there. Torque wrench back on. Now let's see if we can hear the click again this time on camera. That's it, you can hear the click. So that is at, what did I set it at? 34 foot-pounds, which is perfect. And it's got Loctite on it as well. Right, let's put the torque wrench away. Not forgetting to undo the spring and release all pressure. That's it. Otherwise that'll go out of whack. So that is all torqued up here. This can now come back off. Get this back out of the way. Just sit there for a minute. Big screwdriver back out of the way. Right, now, while I'm here, somebody asked me the other day to measure this, so I will. How big this is. Right, so if we go inside the teeth, that is 117. If we go outside the teeth, what's that? That's showing 122.4. This don't make no sense. Right, where are we here? 121. We're going right across the middle. Let's go 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock. Yeah, 121.4. Bit different to what some of the book sizes tell you. Oh, and this nut, by the way, here, I think it was a 17 or 18. Yeah, 18. So that's that. That I know is already tight, the clutch. I am not bothering with the clutch because I know everything down that end is all A-OK. So, right, a quick recap. Right, so we've got new rollers in. We've got the new backing plate. We've got the new rollers in that are now 7 grams we're going to try. This is on, all tightened up. Bendix is in. So far, so good.